Aries, this will be exploring the connection you potentially may have with this person here, how you'll feel about each other, and of course any obstacles that could or may potentially lie between the two of you. So we'll get straight into it. I will use my Secret Language of Light tarot to see what the basis of your connection will be. So what will draw the two of you together, how your connection will be like, potentially any lessons that you'll learn, the basis for your connection together. And you have authentic truth. Okay, this is a very sincere connection here, Aries. Authentic truth is seen as a card of things, realizations, epiphanies. I think right now that's why the two of you are in each other's path, because you're going to bring a lot of truths to each other. You know, this is about being completely honest. So what I'm seeing here is that this relationship is going to require you to have a brutal honesty, Aries, and vice versa, because it is about discovering your own truth and letting others find theirs. So I feel like if you've been, you know, this is a very real and raw connection. There's going to be things that you'll be resistant about when you discover about this person, or vice versa. But it comes down to authenticity. Authentic truth will create this sphere, this sphere immersed. You can see the triangle here immersed in this sphere. You know, there's no pretense, there's no falsities with this person, because it shows that the two of you will be very, very honest together, which is nice. Sometimes I feel like, okay, it might be a little bit brutally honest here, Aries, but I think this is going to translate into a solid foundation, because when we're honest, we have a lot of trust and we have a lot of respect for the other. Some of these truths might not be ideal. You may not want to hear them, Aries, or they may not want to hear your truths, how you truly feel, or things that you've been dishonest about in the past maybe. This is everything coming to the forefront here, but this is what's going to complete you. This is what's going to make, you know, things come full circle. And you've got the number 4 here. You know, the number 4 is everything about you, about what you own, working on yourself, your abilities, things that align with you. I think, you know, the basis for your connection is authenticity, which shows there is pureness coming from this person and vice versa. There's purity, there's pure intentions, and there's a lot of direction, which is good. So you're both going to be very direct with what you want, and this becomes clarity, and then it becomes momentum for your relationship to come full circle with the card of authentic truth. Okay, let's lay out 3 more cards for the basis of your connection, how you'll feel about each other. Okay, the Knight of Wands. This can be seen as you, Aries. He does rule fire, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. I think if this is you coming up in the reading, which I think it is, if this is how you'll be towards them, I see that you'll be very passionate. I see that you'll want to get things moving. I almost feel as like the Knight of Wands is seen as someone quite impatient. It's someone that wants to get things moving fairly quickly. So you may find that you want answers from them. Maybe you want direction, maybe you want clarity, because you're coming in quite strong here, Aries. So this can be in the form of attraction, because the wands can represent desire and passion, infatuation and lust. So this could be your intensity. So I do think you'll have a burning sensation to get things going, to get things moving. Now this could be the other person, especially if it is another fire sign here. But if this is how you are feeling, however, you know, I feel like you're going to want to really be involved. Like I see you being really into them. Sometimes I feel like there's even a little bit of pressure coming from the Knight of Wands. So you may put pressure, because if you see this sphere here, you are the color red and you're surrounding the sphere. So I feel like you may even be a little bit protective. I feel like you're going to very much want to be involved with this person, and you're going to be protective over them. I feel like you're going to want to surround them here. You know, you want them to feel secure in your energy. And this is you wanting exclusivity fairly quickly. This is you wanting to achieve those milestones fairly quickly, because that's what the Knight of Wands does. He is a traveler. He seeks to journey a path for his own fulfillment. So, you know, coming back to that authentic truth, you may find yourself taken aback by how quickly you want this connection to expand. There's also defensiveness. The Knight of Wands can sometimes be seen as a little bit resistant here. So I'm not sure if why you will be resistant. I feel like your quintessential Aries traits are coming through here with the Magician, with the Fool. So I do believe there's something about challenge or a conquest. I feel like sometimes they might elude you. And I don't think this is going to sit well with you, because you'll feel like they're out of reach and that you have to try harder and harder to get them here. But it can speak of passion and sexuality. I think you'll have a very strong physical connection here. There's potential for you to travel and explore new experiences together, which is really, really nice. Okay, what do you have? You have the Emperor. Okay, Aries, this is kind of freaking me out, because you've come up in literally every card. The Magician, the Fool, the Emperor, also the Knight of Wands. Okay, now I'm not sure if this is you or this is them. The roles could be reversed, and it doesn't really matter what element they're coming through as, because I don't want to pigeonhole it. But the Emperor is an Aries. I think it's you that's going to be discovering new truths or starting to become more honest than you've ever been in a relationship here. The Emperor is quite confronting, so you're going to have to confront a lot of truths with this person. Truths about your behavior, truths about how you are as a partner, how you are as a lover, how you are as a support network to your significant other. The Emperor is quite intimidating here. So it's something that's a little bit intimidating. You've swept it under the rug and you're not going to want to talk about it, but this person is going to evoke this within you. Now the roles could be reversed, and this could be the person coming up as the Emperor here. If this is the case, you know, the Emperor is seen as not someone that's overly emotional. So there could possibly be some element of detachment here. If someone is coming in with Emperor energy, it can go either way. It's either someone's coming in with a very strong intensity. I do believe it's you though, Aries. I don't know why, but this person gets you really worked up. I'm not sure if it's their past. Remember, they had that Capricorn controlling, maybe skeletons in the closet, things they've done in their past that are frowned upon. Some of it I don't think is going to sit well with you. Some of it though is for you. Like this is it's the universe's way, it's God's way. You know, the spirit guides telling you that there's a reason why this person has come up in your path. You've come up here 3 times, Aries. That's saying something. There could be 3 major lessons you need to learn with this person. Pacing, intensity, honesty. You know, it can be a plethora of things, but I'm seeing that there's major lessons. It's so clear that this person is supposed to be in your path for a reason. I think you have many truths to learn. You'll discover things about yourself, but also about how other people feel and their pacing and how they may come across. The Emperor can be seen as very possessive, because it's obviously a very powerful energy. You may have a lot of influence, but you'll also be somewhat protective or possessive over this person. But if this is how you'll feel, then you'll feel empowered. You know, you're coming up upright. You're coming up as the Emperor, so you'll feel important. You'll feel like you have a lot of reign. I do see you having a lot of dominance in this connection, actually. I feel like you will dictate pacing. You will dictate feelings. I feel like a lot will depend on you, and there's a lot of codependency on you from this person. You know, it's competitive energy here as well. So I'm not sure if sometimes you'll feel like you're in competition with each other. Okay, and the last card, Ace of Wands. I do see you acknowledging that this is a divine person. This is a divine opportunity. The Ace of Wands is the hand of God. If this shows how you'll feel like you'll want to You'll want to get things done with this person. I don't think it's a very wishy-washy relationship. The Ace of Wands indicates it's a time of movement. It's a time to get moving. Literally, this is you moving. Some of you are going to move in with this person. Some of you are going to go traveling with this person. This is someone major. You're going to complete some sort of major milestone that you've maybe suppressed or denied previously, Aries. This person is going to come in and change that for you. You are all about fire. If this is the basis of your connection here, you both acknowledge with the Ace of Wands that you're both in each other's paths for a reason. Whether you acknowledge this consciously or subconsciously, that connection, if this is the basis for connection, if this is the way you'll feel about each other, then this speaks volumes of the things you'll want to do. This is all about you. I almost feel like some of you are going to begin to act differently. And it's not like you're going to be dishonest. It's not a facade. I think it's your genuine self. But I think this person is going to bring out a different side in you, Aries. There's something that's going to really appeal to you here. And that will be the basis of connection. But it's also renewal. The Ace brings something new, a new experience, a new kind of relationship, a new kind of respect for each other here as well. Let's have a look and see what the potential obstacles might be in your relationship, Aries, with this person. Okay, 3 more cards. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is all about working on yourself and improving yourself. I feel like, you know, traditionally seen as the money card and the growth card, so I'm not sure if there'll be obstacles because of career or other priorities. But more obviously, I see the 8 of Pentacles as they'll want you to change, or you want them to change. You want them to improve on their skill. You want them to improve on their skills, or the roles could be reversed. This person will want to improve and build on your skills or your qualities or attributes, traits, etc. And I feel like this might be an obstacle. Because it's, you know, the Emperor is non-conforming. He conforms to his own. So I see that ego may be in the way here. It may create something a little bit uncomfortable. I think that might be an obstacle for you. It can be a challenge, but I see with the number 8 here, it can be connected to victory, and it can be connected to something quite successful. But if this is an obstacle, then I see other priorities, or not as much attention or hard work. You know, it's a non-conformist view. So it's someone, either it's this person or you, that will want to change the other. And you need to let that happen in, obviously that's, things like that need to happen in their own time. You can't force these things because it's not genuine. It needs to come from within. Change is very hard. Adapting is very hard. But I think this may be somewhat challenging for some of you with the 8 of Pentacles. A potential obstacle with the King of Cups could indicate someone's not managing their emotions very well, or they're trying to suppress their emotions. Not that the King of Cups suppresses, but if we're looking at this card in terms of a challenge, I feel like the challenge here is for the King of Cups to stay steady in his emotions and not allow that turbulent water to topple over his stone slab throne. So what I'm seeing is stubbornness. There's a stubborn energy with the King of Cups when we're looking at it in the sense of a challenge, of an obstacle. When I try to draw out those messages, I see that the King of Cups tries to stay very cool, calm, collected, and tries to suppress, tries to manage. So it's something about managing emotion. Water is emotion. The King of Cups knows how to manage his emotion. In fact, he's very good with acknowledging how he feels, and he's quite in tune with his emotions, which is a good thing. But I feel either someone will need to work on expressing themselves or work on suppressing feelings. So it could go either way. Or it could be a bit of mystery here as well. You know, water signs, they tend to feel their way through life and through relationships. And sometimes they can maintain an element of mystery because the way they're feeling, they won't always express, because they can hinder the way they communicate about their emotions. So some of you an obstacle may be that this person isn't as emotionally expressive. It's almost like they deal with things themselves. They cop it on the chin and that's it. They try to move on, and they try to distract themselves with other things, and that may be a little bit frustrating for you, Aries. Okay, the last card you have is the Eight of Cups. Distance may be an issue for some of you. Whether you're in an online relationship or this person you're not in touch with them as you'd like to be. The Eight of Cups is all about searching for depth, searching for meaning, or turning your back on someone here, turning your back on emotions, because the moon is here, which does rule emotions. I do think when I see this card that someone is turning their back on accepting how they feel. So I do think you might struggle, some of you may struggle with the sense that this person turns their back on you sometimes, or when you express how you feel, they turn their back, or vice versa, you turn your back on them. But it's turning back on emotions, because the Cup says water here, the Cancer card here, this is attachments. Also, what comes to mind is grudges. Cancer energy shows that this person dwells on things, can be quite highly sensitive, and as a result can turn. I feel like you might encounter some breaks with this person, because they'll either distance themselves every time you hit an emotional hiccup, an emotional wall. Every time you run into that wall, this person will distance themselves, and you'll find them detaching or trying to detach, because their emotions are fairly heightened. I do sense you are dealing with someone quite emotionally sensitive here, Aries. And as a result, you might actually break up for a time with this person and reconcile, because I can see this person is quick to walk away. Or if things get quite intense, they're quick to turn their back on things and say this connection isn't deep enough, or they want someone more understanding, or something like this is coming up. But remember, I'm just looking at the challenges. Of course, there'll be beautiful things in your relationship, so it's not all bad, Aries. I just tried to look at the obstacles. But the good thing is, as I said, there's new experiences, new explorations, and there's a higher purpose. There's lessons to be learned, and a beautiful higher purpose for you with this person here. You've come up 3 times, Aries. I think you do have 3 major lessons that you will learn with this person, but it's all part of the journey. The Knight of Wands travels for a purpose here. And this is your purpose. This person, this relationship is very much part of your journey. So look, I will leave it at that, Aries. I hope this reading has been insightful. Thank you so much for watching.